Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your guy, SnowBikeMike, joined alongside my dude, Washburn. We're ready to catch up on the week. Washburn, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Mike? Again.
You know, I'm doing good. On take number 2, I'm doing good. Even though I always say one take to be great, sometimes it takes a couple of takes, Washburn. And of course, we're here to catch up on the week. I want to check in with you. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the work week, halfway through the school week. And this is when things start to drag. But also, it's a good opportunity to just check in with your homies and say, yo, what up? So, how you doing today? I thought we'd check in. Washy, what's the latest and greatest right now? What have you been playing? What have you been watching? What's up?
Halo event. That's what I've been playing the past day.
Is this a new event?
And
so there's
later today.
Winter Contingency. You got the Samurai. Yeah. Where are we at now? Which
Samurai?
One are we on?
Samurai's back.
We're back on the Samurai. So what's the cool draw on the Samurai today?
So they've changed it to where, well, or so they say, that you always have a challenge that'll progress you through the pass.
Okay.
That's what they said. In practice, that's not what I found yesterday. I did have to get a challenge done before another one popped up for me to do. But they changed the whole pass. That's the big thing.
Changed the whole pass.
Yeah, because everybody was pissed off about only having to earn 7 levels a week.
Oh, remember that? I hated that.
Right?
Yeah, I hated that.
And then a lot of people put 2 and 2 together on the last pass that earned all 7 levels that were like, oh, I can't wait next time it rolls around to earn 1 shoulder piece, because that's what was going to happen.
Or my leg bag, yeah. From the last one we did, I got a leg bag.
And so they changed it to where I think you get 9 or 10 levels now.
Okay.
So you should be able to get up to the helmet. They did put a color for the armor in the pass, which was my big complaint last time that this happened, was there were no colors for the Samurai core that you could earn. There is one now, so that's good.
Okay. I like that. I like all this. I like this. Are you happy to return to this, or did you like the Winter Contingency? How it was just, hey, here's a self-contained mini event. We're gonna get it done in the 2-week period, and then it's over.
I didn't hate it because I don't like being forced into specific game modes. It feels lazy. I
brought up Halo Infinite on the screen so I could see it's the Fracture event. So I remember now we're back on the Fracture event, and it looks like we're back to win Fiesta matches. Is that what they're pushing on me again? Is Fiesta matches?
Yeah, they're going to make you play Fiesta, which is tough.
Okay. And so you're telling me I only got 1 through 6 the first time. You're telling me now what do I get? How
9 or 10.
I go?
So if you look at your challenges and hit the Y button on your controller.
Yeah, I got it.
It'll show you every challenge that you have for the week. So if you just were to count out, you have 2 active right now. So 3, add that.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 2 is 10.
So you can get 10.
So I'm going to get up to level 16 here. So I will earn.
Which for you will be maybe a helmet,
a shoulder pad, and a helmet. Yeah, a helmet is the big one. The helmet's clearly the big draw.
Color. Which is
what,
good.
A basic blue?
I mean, it's better than gray.
Okay, you're right. I mean, you are right. And the helmet looks much better. This helmet that they have, the generic helmet we earned, awful. Looks so dumb.
It's not good.
That looks so. Thank God for this elevated helmet, because I really, Washburn, to be honest with you, the first time we jumped into this Fracture event, I was very unimpressed, and I'm sure a lot of other people.
I think everybody
was right.
Yeah.
So in this, again, the running joke again, you and I, is I'm going to earn 2 XP tokens. I'm going to earn an emblem for a warthog, 2 shoulder pads, a knee pad, a color, a emblem for my chest. Shout out to chest emblems. I think those are the best emblems right there. A helmet, which is cool. And then one other shoulder pad, just one, not the whole set. One other shoulder pad.
You didn't hit 7 in the first week.
Oh, you could have hit 7? No, I did all the challenges. I got stuck at 6.
No, you should have been able to hit 7 in the first week.
I don't know, bro. I felt like I only hit 6, but maybe you're right. I felt like I only hit 6. But also shout out to 18. Look at this color. You mean gray with a little bit of green tint?
Yeah, that's a joke.
You can't do that, Washy.
I mean, I bought a $20 Iron Man color.
Okay.
So
Yep.
I'm pretty good. You know, I'm like in a place where colors don't really matter to me.
Wasn't this assault?
The assault rifle's dope.
Wasn't that assault rifle into winter contingency pack?
Mm-mm. The only colors they had in winter contingency were the peppermint ones.
Oh, you know what it was? It was the skin. There was a skin color that looked like this. Because at the end of winter contingency, they had one color that didn't match the other color scheme for some reason. I was like, what is this? What is this? Okay. Well, it's back. We have to play Fiesta mode, which is tough.
It's tough. Yeah.
So are you telling me right now, because I supposedly should have got 7, but I got 6 the first time, that I will not be able to earn level 30 on this?
No, if they do 3 more weeks of this, if you get 10 this week, 10 the next time, and 10 the last time, they're going to make it to where you should be able to hit
30 guaranteed?
Yeah.
Okay. The antlers are something. I don't know if I like the antlers.
People are going to like that. I don't
know. I mean, I do like the cat ears, so I guess I can't talk smack on the antlers, but an interesting one. And Washy, what a fun way to start off our catch up. Of course, people are coming in the live stream right now, hanging out with you and I, and they're probably running, what the heck are we doing? Well, you know what? Each and every week I wanted to catch up with one of my friends, and I wanted to kick it off with you, Washburn, and just catch up with you once a week and be like, yo, what's happening in the gaming world? What's happening in our lives? What's happening in the entertainment world? And let's just talk about it, right, Washburn? Let's catch up. Let's have some fun chatting it up. And so this is the start of that, and this is kind of how it's going to go. We're going to ask, what games, what have we been watching? We'll check in with the chat. We'll break down some of the latest and greatest news, and then we'll get out of here and we'll play some games. But of course, if you're tuning in right now, like I see Corn Pillow, my good friend Proper Matt, my good friend PS Witch, with a very nice tweet earlier today that made me smile. Of course, Jack Kirby is in the building. Cave Troll with the tier 1 sub. And our good friend Chris Anka is all rocking with us in the live chat. Of course, if you have some cool news that you want to share with us, if you saw something from the video game world, the entertainment world that we should talk about, let me know. Drop a link in the chat. I'll take a look at it, and me and Washy can look at it. But all right, so this is one of the games you're back on Halo. You have the Fracture event. You've been enjoying this.
I mean, enjoying is not the word I would use.
Is that a stretch to say right there? Is that a stretch?
I mean, I'm going to do it because I feel like I have to. And that's the issue with the entire way that the Halo progression system is set up, is they've created this like FOMO manipulation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when they do these events where it's like I better get the stag helmet now, even though I'm never going to use it.
Yeah.
I better get it because I might never have a chance again.
You better have it is right? You better have it. Look at this karate stance, though. I like this one, the meditative state. I'm going through the store right now, and I'm always blown away by the store offerings. I am a guy that likes to buy the microtransactions.
What do you think about the Enlightened Path?
Enlightened Path. I clicked on it, Washburn. So for 2,000 credits, you get
$20.
For $20, you get the Enlightened Path, which we'll talk about in a moment. But then I scrolled to see what else there is, and I was like, oh,
3 emblems.
It's just 4 extra emblems.
What's funny? So
scary.
do you have? You're level 100 on Battle Pass, right?
So I have the skull thing. Yeah.
Have you used the other effect?
The flame that's in like 15 frames per second?
No, so go over to your armory real quick for me.
Okay, going into the armor hall, yep.
And go over to the very right side.
Yep. Mythic effect.
Yeah.
The flame.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's level 100 on the Battle Pass.
Oh, I've never seen this. Okay.
So what happens is every step you take leaves a little flame. When you grapple, a little flame shoots out of your wrist. When you slide, you leave like a flame trail, right? Okay. That's what these mythic effects are.
Okay.
So Enlightened Flame, I guess, is just the Daisy's version of this. I turned mine off because I think in ranked play that you're doing yourself a disadvantage.
You let me follow you around doing that. Yeah.
You're just making yourself more visible.
Yeah,
so
I don't even like the
I turned it off.
Killing people. Like that whole blow up in flame effect that they have. I don't even care for that one that much, Washburn, to be honest with you. I think it's just too much going on, but it is another one that we talked about. When you go to this shop, they're trying to jam it with as much stuff as they can to semi-justify the pricing here. And I'm still not convinced. I think, you and I come from Fortnite and Call of Duty, and, everybody out there has played different games with microtransactions, and it just seems like, man, this is what I would call the lack of value compared to the other stuff. And sure, you don't use everything in a Call of Duty pack, but like at least that $5 to $20 feels more than this right here for $20, which is just,
I think,
a purple path and 4 emblems.
Yeah, so I spent $20 on the Iron Man set.
Okay.
Which gives you the Iron Man color for every core. So no matter what core I use, I can use that color, which is nice. It gave me 2 weapon skins, one for the sniper, one for the shotgun, and they're like icy.
Okay.
And then I believe it gave me 1 BR skin that is like red and white.
Okay.
So 3 weapon skins, a really cool color in my opinion that you can use across every armor core or whatever, and a stance also. And I felt like that was worth $20.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's just something.
Daisy's coming out of my footsteps.
We don't need that.
I'm not going to spend $20 on that.
I can vibe with that. Well, let's catch up. What other games have you been playing? As we move away from Halo, what other things? I mean, we're coming off a holiday break. I know you got some time off away from work. What other games piqued your interest, or like, what are you feeling now with gaming?
I mean, we've been playing Minecraft.
We have been zoning out with Minecraft. It's like, it's wild that like Minecraft is the game, I think, with you and your friends, like no matter who you are, you can always circle back to, or like you get those phases once every so often of like, hey, let's just play Minecraft and lose our minds for a month and a half and then never play it again. Like that's what it feels like right now. And I do like that. I do like that about it.
Yeah. I mean, there hasn't really been anything new like recently.
No,
I mean,
Halo was
I
the
got through the Halo
release.
campaign. Yeah, I got, exactly. And then it was just kind of like, okay, now what? And so it's Halo multiplayer in Minecraft, really. I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing.
You still jump back to Forts at all?
Occasionally. Yeah. I'll do because they have it set up with like the seasonal stuff, I guess it's called, where you go and you do one and it lights up like 3 different races across the map for you to do.
Yeah.
And the restrictions are really like specific. So like I did one, I think it was last week, where it made me use the Supra, the new one.
Okay.
And it capped you like with your performance. So like it'll tell you what car you have to use or what kind of family of cars you have to use, and then it'll cap you at a performance. So those are pretty fun because sometimes they make you do like a really slow car.
Okay.
And it's hilarious because you'll just have like a bunch of really old slow cars trying to race each other, and that's always pretty fun. So
okay. I like that. Well, I mean, it's tough because you and I are always together, so we usually know what each other is playing. But for everybody out there watching and listening, I've been jumping back into Metal Gear Solid 5. I guess it's hard to say jumping back into because it's my first time, but like you said, it is an old game, right? So like it's tough to be like, oh, I'm playing this new game that came out years ago, but I have jumped into that, and I think it's pretty wild, Washburn, of like, I didn't know anything about Metal Gear, and then jumping in now and playing this game, I'm blown away. I think you and I have touched on it, and so is the chat, of like, the controls of this game are just totally outrageous. I love it. It reminds me of playing Hitman, but a faster version of Hitman with like the stealth and the modern day controls.
Yeah,
but like, I really like that.
It's funny because like Hitman 3, I've said it many a times, and a lot of people probably heard me say it is my favorite game this year. And I was writing down my favorite games this year, and I was thinking about like, how do you even classify Hitman? I don't even know. It's like a stealth game, but not really. And Metal Gear seems to capitalize more on that aspect, is like trying to be sneaky.
Yeah. I
would say Hitman 3 is an infiltration game.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
Like you try to infiltrate places.
I like that. I like
whereas Metal Gear Solid 5 is more of like a stealth full experience.
I like the speed, especially watching the first 4 games with Barrett over at Kinda Funny. I like the speed of this one. It feels modern. It feels like an action game that you would play from like a first person shooter or a third person Uncharted type game where like the speed and movement is there. The gunplay I'll talk about is a little weak. I think the tranq dart gun is good, but I think the AR is a little weak, but that comes with the third person over the shoulder kind of aiming and gunplay. But I think the gunplay itself, when I try to pop off and I'm in a fight, is just a little weak for me. But other than that, I really love the tranq dart of like being stealthy and it's going to be like 1 or 2 shots instead of full blown hold down the trigger and just kind of mindlessly pray and spray with that.
Yeah, so with Metal Gear 5, Solid 5, where you were last night on the mission that I think is last night you were playing, on the mission where you go up to the truck and the skulls jump out at you.
Yeah.
I quit the game after that mission. That's where I stopped playing. So you're pretty much past where I stopped playing.
See, I think
I couldn't handle. I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. I just got so frustrated, and I didn't feel like I was, having a whole lot of fun at that point. But maybe I'll pick it back up with you now that you're kind of caught up and we can try to get through it together. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Skull Troopers are a whole different breed where like you truly can't fight them except for if you have a bunch of explosives on you, right? And so I think I got lucky with that mission of my first try, right? I was underneath the truck. They caught me, but I was able to put the parachute, the Fulton on the truck and be like, oh man, like I almost beat that. So I guess I have a good idea of what I should do. And I got pretty lucky there. But yeah, that is a weird mechanic of like, what am I supposed to do against these guys? Because everybody else is humans. Why are these guys different, What
I ended up doing is like for that mission, I went to a guide and it told me that once they jump out of the truck, the people in the tanks next to the truck disappear for some reason, which is true.
That is true.
And so I stole a tank and just shot them with the tank over and over again until they all died.
Yes.
And then like 3 times I tried that, and the first 2 times I blew up the truck. Mm-hmm. So that was frustrating, but that eventually that's how I did that mission. And then I was like, I don't know. I love the missions in that game where it is get into this base, try not to be seen, extract the prisoner, get out.
Love that.
Like those are my favorite.
Oh,
but anything with the skulls, I'm just like, I don't need this. Like I really don't need this.
I do look forward. I like the skulls because they're weird and outrageous, just like we saw with the Frog Troopers in Metal Gear Solid 4. I really like that. So I love that Kojima every single time gets weird with it. I know you've always told me about Death Stranding, and I look forward to seeing those crazy enemies over there. But loving Metal Gear Solid. I think, you and I, we've played a little bit of Icarus. Of course, I've jumped back into Skyrim. There's Halo, there's Battlefield. But that's kind of the games we've been playing. Before we get into the news and just kind of recap the week, I wanted to ask one more thing of like, what you been watching, Washburn? Because I know you and I, we like watching shows or movies, and it has been a long holiday break. So I want to know what you've been watching. What's been good over the holiday break?
The Expanse. I mean, I don't want to talk too long on it. Everybody knows how much I love that show. It's as good as it ever was. It's better than it has any business being. It's kind of ridiculous. But other than that, The Witcher season 2.
You and I both watched that. We could talk about that. That was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah,
I think they did a good job on that.
I've never read the books. Apparently, book readers are not happy about it, but they rarely are.
Isn't that how it always goes when it goes to books to entertain or to TV and stuff? Not with the Expanse. Okay.
But I liked it. It's fun enough. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's the best thing ever. I will tell you that Henry Cavill just disappears into that role, like just completely vanishes into Geralt, which is it's like awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I really like Freya Allen, who plays Ciri. And I liked that.
She was good. She was good too.
As somebody who loves The Witcher 3, and it's one of my, if not my absolute favorite game of all time, this show is kind of like, especially this season 2, is like a prequel, And season 2 is all about Siri. It's like all about why she is the way she is, and there's weird magic stuff and monsters, and it's just fun.
Yeah, I agree. I like it a lot. I have a question coming in from the Twitch chat right now live. Simon M wants to know. He says, my only issue with the new season of The Expanse is that it feels a little rushed, being only 6 episodes. Washy, you are my Expanse Sherpa. You're my James Holden. I've watched The Expanse and got into The Expanse because of you. And that was the conversation you and I had of like, you were like, hey, you know, we're getting close to the end of the books. We're going to wrap up the TV show here. And then you said 6 episodes. So I guess the question is that true? Is it really only 6 episodes? Is this the final 6 episodes? Season? And do you feel like it's going to be rushed? Are you worried about that?
No. And without spoiling anything, no. Book 6, if you... And this is not really a spoiler, but book 6, on which season 6 is based, is one of these slower books. There's not a lot that in Babylon's Ashes. There's not a lot that happens in Babylon's Ashes, and they've covered most of it already. And so there's I think they've paced it perfectly because there's really 2 more things that have to happen, and there's 2 more episodes of the show. So I think for me, it's perfectly paced. And what's interesting is this season is they're setting up books 7, 8, and 9 with the Laconia stuff. At the beginning of each episode, they do 4 or 5 minutes on Laconia, which is all about future stuff. So that tells me they're just going to try to leave it open. The problem with the Expanse is it's so expensive to make. And it looks expensive, and it's always been that way. Even going back to seasons 2 and 3, when it was on sci-fi, they would do these long walking takes in ships, and people would get on elevators and go down elevators, and the camera never cuts, and they go into a bridge, and it's like, Jesus Christ, you built all this? You know, you didn't have to do that, but they do. And so they're gonna try to find somebody to pick it up or get a movie deal. The thing with books 7, 8, and 9 is it's and I'm trying not to spoil anything, is it just gets really weird. But it's it's something that could work better with a movie, I think. 2 or 3 movies to finish out the series.
You know, you bring up the sci-fi thing and then going to Amazon Prime. Do you see the quality with more money being backed into it with Prime Video, or do you think it stayed the same? Right, because sometimes we talk about these shows.
No, there's a jump.
CW, right? It's going over there, and it's the Flash, compared to Netflix and stuff.
Jump.
You see a noticeable jump in that?
Yeah, going from season 3 to season 4, a huge jump. They go on do the illest stuff with this crazy 2:1 ratio anamorphic lens, and it's just wild to look at. When they go to illest, and then season 5 is varied, I guess, for lack of a better term. They're all kind of split up and in different locations, which cost money. And then season 6 is just kind of war, CGI space battles, a lot of them, I think I think there's a pretty big jump, and it looks good. I mean, I think it looks good. I don't, I'm sure somebody would sit there and tell me, oh, it looks so bad, but I think it looks pretty good. So, yeah.
Well, we're going to be talking about a movie that doesn't look good later on when we get into the news here in just a little bit. Of course, I watched some Cobra Kai, Washy. I enjoyed Cobra Kai. I went from The Witcher to Cobra Kai. And I don't know why I watched Cobra Kai. Maybe it's the whole kind of funny, hype beast of it all. But Cobra Kai is that ABC family show that you would skip by and you're like, why would I even watch this? That's how Cobra Kai feels to me, because I don't have any ties to Karate Kid, but for some reason I enjoy it, right? I watched it, turn it on, I'm like, all right, I guess we're doing this. And then there's some moments where I'm like, should I be watching this? Should I be wasting my time with this? But at least the fight scenes and the hype is fun. Other than that, when they're going to prom and stuff, I'm like, oh, Mike, you should be moving on. You should read a book, Mike. Is what I say to myself. You should read a book with your time. But that's what I've been watching. That's what we've been playing. It's nice to see our friends in the chat right now. We got AJ Mads hanging out with us. We got Trees Wonderland. G Saves in there right now. Remember, if you have any cool news of the week, whether it be from the video game world or the entertainment world, make sure to drop a link in the chat. Let me know about it. Like Kit Kat has, and Kit Kat has already read my mind because I have the PlayStation VR 2 up on the news, Washburn. As we take a look at our news of the week, we're going to actually kick it off with some Rainbow Six Extraction news, but I do have PlayStation VR because I've been playing a lot of VR actually over the holiday break, so we will talk about that in just a little bit. But let's talk about the big news of the day, which was Rainbow Six Extraction coming day and date, day one on Game Pass, Washburn. You and I, we love Game Pass. People call me on the Xcast an Xbot, a cheerleader, a jabroni. But I think you and I believe that Game Pass is the real deal. And this is another big one. I mean, we're coming hot off of Outriders, if you remember. We're thinking about Back for Blood, right? And now Rainbow Six Extraction, a big multiplayer game, day one on Game Pass. What do you think about this?
I think that that's a game I never would have bought, and now I'm going to try it on day one.
Cool. Yeah.
Which is what Game Pass is.
I like that.
That's essentially what Game Pass is a bunch of... I mean, that's giving it Game Pass kind of a bad rap, when I phrase it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's part of what Game Pass is. This is part of what Game Pass is games you never would have bought.
Yep.
But now you're going to try it on day one because people are talking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not a Rainbow Six player. I tried Rainbow Six Siege once and got dominated and said, not for me.
I think that's the cool draw of this is you're not going to get dominated because it's PvE instead of PvP, right? So it's going to be that more Back for Blood, horde mode / do this objective and extract out of there, which I think that gets me more excited because I love Rainbow Six Siege. I actually really like the controls. I like the combat. I like the gameplay and pacing of it all. But you're right. When you jump into it now, if you don't know the map inside and out, you don't know the head spots, you're going to die immediately, right? So that's why I'm excited about this because now I get the Rainbow Six controls that are so fine-tuned. I mean, I've been playing Rainbow Six since Vegas back in the day with Vegas 1 and Vegas 2.
Yeah, Vegas is the only Rainbow Six that I have any experience with.
This excites me. And also, when we bring it back to Game Pass, right, another one that you bring up and we're kind of touching on is like Game Pass gives you this library where you can try new things, and we'll touch on another game that I've been playing later that I never would have played. But it also is the big one that I touch on is the shared library, which I love, right? Like now you, I, and everybody and their mama that has Game Pass now has this game without having to buy it. Because, I like buying new games and you hate when I do it, but now we don't have to spend $1 on this. We all can play it because it is a game that I would want to try with friends, but it would be tough to be like, hey, Washburn, this game that we might only play for like 48 hours. Can you buy this for $70? And I think that is what the saving grace of this with Rainbow Six Extraction is to me right there.
I mean, yeah, I just hope that it is not a Back for Blood situation, where it's hot for 5 minutes and people are talking about it and then we all realize it kind of sucks and then it just goes away,
What do you think it needs to avoid that, I guess, is the big question. Because I agree with you, right, Washburn? I like the premise of this. I love the gameplay of Rainbow Six Siege. But everything I've seen from trailers, right, I worry that we're just fighting black goo monsters and it's not really going to be a big draw, right? When you see this, it's just a bunch of just all black, like dumb-looking monsters crawling on the ground, and you just shoot at them wave after wave, just like we got done with Back for Blood. Do you think maybe just the higher quality of it being a Ubisoft title is going to elevate that? Or is there something that needs to happen here for you to see the
higher
player
quality
base
of it being a Ubisoft title?
Well, I mean, compared to Turtle Rock, right? Come on. Let's be honest with you. But compared to Turtle Rock?
I don't know. My hype levels for it I'm not going to say I'm excited to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh my God, I can't wait for Rainbow Six Extraction. I didn't even know this was a thing until today.
No, for real?
Yeah, that's how little I pay attention to Rainbow Six. As soon as they say Rainbow Six, I'm like, I'm out. I don't care. You know what I mean? Is this Ghost Recon Wildlands 2? No? Okay, bye. Like, I just don't care, right? But now that it's on Game Pass, I'll at least try it. Well, because I got nothing to lose.
Yeah. I mean,
except time, which is super valuable. But
thing, right?
I'll try it.
I mean, January 20th, day one on Game Pass.
Was that going up against Pokemon? Same day?
I don't know. Can we get somebody in the chat? Let me know about Pokemon. What? It's going up against, that's two separate games. That's two completely different games.
Yeah, I don't think you understand how massive Pokemon is.
Pokemon is massive, but we're talking about a first-person shooter co-op PvE game compared to Pokemon. Pokemon comes out the 28th, so it's got a full week ahead of Pokemon.
It's got a week of
It's got a full
time.
8 days before Pokemon, okay? Full 8 days. So, tactical 1 to 3 player co-op PvE first-person shooter, and another positive right there, Rainbow Six Siege will come to PC for Game Pass over there. So that's a cool one, right? We always talk about Game Pass on PC. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it, right? I think they continue to add titles. And every time I log on to my Game Pass PC app, I'm always impressed with all the titles. I think the issue is it's on PC, which is dominated by so many other launchers already that my first instinct is to click on Steam, is to click on the Epic Game Store, is to click on, EA or everything in their mama before that. But I am always impressed whenever we do click on the Xbox store over there.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been bundled into Ultimate for so long that I'm not going to change now. You know what I mean?
No, you're in it. So you feel like that? Like you've been in Ultimate with all three for so long, like you wouldn't just step back and be like, I'm only doing Xbox now?
No, I'm they got me by the balls, man. You know what I mean? I'm locked in, dude. Every year, $180. Just take it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just take it. Because it's going to give me EA, it's going to give me Cloud, and it's going to give me, like this year, it gave me Age of Empires.
Age of Empires 4?
Which I probably would have bought. You know what I mean? Yeah, Even though I suck at it. I'm the world's worst Age of Empires player. But it pays for itself. I mean, $180, Forza, Halo, Age of Empires. I was going to spend that $180 anyway.
Let's expand this story just a little bit longer right now and have the additional conversation of what do you think about Ubisoft Plus? Do you see Ubisoft showing up on Game Pass Ultimate like EA Play, right? Last year around this time, we had the rumor of, are they going to bring in Ubisoft Plus into the mix and have that kind of like EA Play? It's been a full year now. Of course, they are partnering. The word is that Ubisoft Plus will be arriving on your console as a separate gaming subscription, just like we used to do with EA Play. I know you and I've done that before it got bundled into Ultimate. So where are you at now here on January 2022? Looking forward to the year. Do you expect Ubisoft Plus to ever hit this? And what are some of the stipulations that you would think would happen with this?
I think what would happen is before Ubisoft Plus just gets included, I think you see a version of Game Pass that has like a price increase, like a different SKU.
You're thinking another tier.
That they might call it Game Pass Ultimate Plus. Ooh. And it might be $20 more a year, and you get the Ubisoft stuff in it. Or Game Pass Console Plus, you know what I mean? I think you'd see that happen before Ubisoft just gets dumped in. That's just, you know what I mean?
When you say that, it's tough to me.
Because we're entering antitrust territory here. I think this is getting crazy. If you put all the Bethesda stuff and all the Ubisoft stuff and all the EA stuff on one subscription service, that's like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, is anybody getting challenged this? Is this okay? Because it seems like I'm breaking some kind of rule by having that.
I just don't like that extra tier that you bring up, because then what is EA Play? Is EA Play still the third tier of Ultimate? Like, you start to muddy the water with where we're at now. I feel like it's got to all be Ultimate is everything, and then you still have the PC and Xbox Basic. It feels like a lot there, but also at the same time, EA Play, you're not getting day one launches of Madden or of NHL, right? Like, it is 3 months, 6 months, as we're going to talk about Mass Effect later on, 7 months down the road. So how much does Ubisoft really bring to that? Most of the titles are already in Game Pass. I think a lot of the Assassin's Creeds are already in Game Pass. You're not really adding much more difference to what it already is. I feel like, sure, there will be some more titles added onto it that will bolster it a little bit, but like, a fair amount of the games that you want to play from this publishing team is already there, I feel like.
Yeah, but like just personally, it's not something I need. You know what I mean? This is not something I need. I am curious about what they're going to do. What's on there, right? Like what's on there? Anything that's on there, I probably already have. Because if it's an old Ubisoft game, I probably already have it.
True.
Just because that's how I am. Unfortunately. But like, I don't know, man. We'll just have to see. I think that they will either Ubisoft Plus is going to change, right? And become like EA Play is now, where things hit and then you get it on Game Pass later. Or this just stays $15 a month, and that's what it is forever.
Yep.
Or Game Pass changes and has a couple different SKUs like Game Pass for Console Plus, and that comes with the Ubisoft and the EA stuff. Game Pass Ultimate Plus comes with the Ubisoft EA stuff, console, PC, cloud, right? I think they will bundle it somehow. The question is, how are they going to do it? I have no idea. Either Microsoft or Ubisoft is going to have to come up with that one.
Yeah. I look forward to Ubisoft putting this service on my Xbox. I really enjoyed EA Play before it got bundled in with Game Pass. I did like that service, being able to subscribe to it through my console. I like that a lot. I know it's currently on PC, but I don't play many of my games on PC, so I look forward to that on my console, which I like. I guess my final question for you there is we look forward to that, and who knows what the crystal ball will hold for us if it does get bundled in. If it doesn't, what does that look like? But if you had your personal one, A, and then B is going to be a poll out into the world, which would you rather have, EA Play or Ubisoft Plus
EA
in
Play.
Your Game Pass? And then what do you think the grander world of gaming would vote on there?
Ubisoft Plus.
You think so?
Well, I don't know, man. It just depends. There's so many Madden players.
So see, that's what I like about EA Plus or EA Play is I like getting the sports games because I'm sick and tired.
And I'm the same way. I love that UFC 4 is on there.
Yeah,
I love it. You know what I mean?
I like that a lot. But yeah, I think if you polled planet Earth of gamers right now, I bet you Ubisoft would come out on top because I think they prefer the Assassin's Creeds and the Rainbow Sixes. I think they would prefer to save money on that over the sports titles that is probably a smaller audience, you know what I mean, in the grand scope of it all.
Yeah, I think I don't know. We say stuff like this all the time, and then like Madden makes a $1 billion every year. Yeah, so it's just like I don't know. I don't know.
This is exciting to see, though.
Yeah, I mean we'll see. We'll just have to see what happens. They're gonna announce something. Something's gonna happen. That I'm sure. What it's gonna be, who's gonna bundle it, how it's gonna be bundled, what it's gonna cost. I don't know. Either Microsoft or Ubisoft will have something for us in the next couple weeks or months.
Yeah. I'm excited to see whatever this is, but also big shout out to Rainbow Six Extraction. Big shout out to Sarah Bond and her team working with different publishers to bring in these kind of partnerships like that. I mean, Game Pass with Rainbow Six Siege Extraction going to save me and my friends a ton of money. Going to be a game that we can play for a weekend or beyond, right? And this is a game that I have been looking forward to because I'm always looking for a good multiplayer game. So I'm excited to at least try it to see if it holds our attention and where do we go from that. But this was a fun one right here to kick off the day. I think this was some big news here. But CDJ Gamer brought up a fun one, and this is a game that I'm also been looking forward to since me and Greg Miller showed it off on a Let's Play video or a kind of showcase video a while back. But this is Nobody Saves the World. Now has a launch date of January 18th. So they have to compete with Rainbow Six. But this is from the creators of Guacamelee. This is Drinkbox Studios. Washy, I don't know if you've seen this, but this is called Nobody Saves the World. This is a game that I'm eagerly awaiting to play, and I'm really pumped up about it.
Yeah, you know how I am with indies.
Yeah.
Like it has to be something absolutely incredible. You know what I mean?
I like
the way this looks.
Yeah, I think you might enjoy this a lot.
We'll just have to see what it is. I mean, we'll just have. I mean, that's how I am with indies. It's just like it's got 5 minutes to grab me, and if it doesn't, I'm just gonna go play the biggest, brightest, newest thing because that's how I maximize my time.
Positive for you. It's on day and date with Game Pass once again, so that's cool.
I'm gonna try it. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't have to buy it, so that's a positive. It has co-op, so
it's got co-op, so you might be dragged in with me. That's another
positive.
Yeah, exactly. I really like this because you can mix and match the different characters within the game to create the ultimate build that you want to be, and I really like that. I'm looking forward to this, and the art style grabs me. I think Drinkbox has a really cool art style. Looking back on Guacamelee 1 and 2, you know, I love that, and I'm all about that. I'm really excited to check this out and get my hands on it. I mean, January 18th on console and PC. I think it's a console launch exclusive right now for Xbox as well. So a nice little win to kick off January. Some big games coming into Game Pass, and we haven't even talked about the Game Pass update here for the month, which we might as well just jump back into that since we're just going to talk Xbox for a little bit longer. What do you think of this big one? I mean, of course, everybody's all eyes on Mass Effect Legendary Edition, January 6th, with this tomorrow after we're recording this. But you also have Ember, which you and I have played. I really like that dumb firefighter game.
My eye. Yeah. I mean, personally, like Ember and Spelunky too.
Spelunky we've played. This game hasn't sold me. I don't quite like the look of it. Arcesis or whatever you want to call that. I saw this at an event and I was like, I don't know.
What is this? Like a roguelite?
It's a
co-op roguelite in space?
4-player shooter. I don't know what you're going to call this. I thought this was the Among Us clone that they were making, but it's not. It's just a different one. It's got kind of that like 70s sci-fi vibe. You're up in some sort of space station shooting at things. I'm just not sold on this, but seeing it come to Game Pass day one, that means we can try it for an hour and then never play it again. And I like that a lot. You know, I like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the big one, Mass Effect.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, what is there to say about Mass Effect that hasn't already been said?
Yeah. 7 months later. Great stuff.
I mean, if you haven't played it, now's your time, you know. Like,
good call.
It's for my money the best video game trilogy ever made still. So, you know, now that it's on Game Pass and if you have Game Pass and you haven't played it, you really got nothing to lose. So, especially now, and the changes that they made to Mass Effect 1 with Legendary Edition are substantial enough for me to tell you that game is very, very worth playing.
Here's one that I think you should try out is this pedestrian game. I played this last night for about 2 hours, and it has captured my attention. It was calm, chill, cool, fun puzzler. Had some really nice music that I think you can vibe out to, and I like the puzzles here. It's got this really cool, like, 3D background of wherever you're at, the different locations, but at the forefront is this cool puzzles that are, like, built into different, like, I'll just call them sheets of paper, and you can move them left, right, and center and, like, reset the puzzle, and your little stick figure guy will go from one piece of the paper to another one, and I really dig what they've done. There's some fun puzzles that will make you scratch your head and then go, oh, like, they did a good job with that when connecting the dots. So if you have some time, check out this pedestrian game. I'm actually really impressed by it. And that's a game, like we talked about, Washman, I would never buy this game. I probably would never play it. But seeing it on Game Pass, I'm like, all right, I'll give that a click. And I played it on the cloud. It ran just fine on my phone.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed this. But a lot of people up here are talking about these two games. I keep making fun of the name Gorgonzola. I know that's not the name of it, but people say this is a good one along with this one as well. So something to check out if you got some time for yourself on the Game Pass.
I mean, you never know. It's like XO1 was kind of that Game Pass indie that got me this year, you know. So it just with indies, it's just like it's got to be tight and it's got to be inspired. You know what I mean? And I just so few indies are like that for me. Where I go into these indie games and I start playing them and I'm like, okay, this is unique, but you know, I'd probably have more fun playing Halo.
Yeah.
You know. So that's what I'm gonna go do versus something like XO1 that is 90 minutes, that is something like I've never really played before. It's a little bit like Flower or Journey, where it's kind of big and empty and doesn't really tell you what to do.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I like Ember, and I like Spelunky 2.
Those are great games.
And we didn't play enough Spelunky 2.
Spelunky is just one of those games. It's fun. It's cool playing it alone or now with friends, and it's tough. And I think that's the best part about Spelunky. It has the challenge where every time you play it, you feel like, oh, I've gotten a little bit better, or oh, we're starting to figure it out. And then the cool part is like, man, that's so punishing and so much fun that it gives you that kind of like, I got to get back there and try it again. So yeah, pretty sweet. January 13th.
Those are the two that I was like, oh, I mean, I'm excited to go back to those, because we played Ember and laughed a lot.
Laughed a lot.
Which is what you want to do when you play multiplayer games. And then there's Spelunky 2, which we played for like 10 minutes with 4 of us who had never played Spelunky before and just got decimated and moved on. But I am excited to try it on console. Just like I was excited to pick up Hades again when it hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'll take these indie games that I know I like every time and play them on the Xbox again just because I can and I don't have to pay for anything.
It's fun to go through these updates each and every month, and they try to do 2 a month because they have so much stuff coming and leaving Game Pass. But a big one you always want to check out is down below the leaving page, just in case. And I see, of course, Kingdom Hearts 3 will be leaving consoles. So if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, get your gameplay in right now. Pandemic is leaving console and PC. I believe that was like the weird board game where you create a virus and you spread it around the globe. This one is worth your time if you want to check that one out. I like that. It reminds me of like Risk.
We're living it.
Yeah, I guess it's a little tough because we're living it, but that one I do enjoy a lot. I do want to look over at the chat right now because...
What did that say about PSO2? At the bottom there.
Coming down. So DLC, your Game Pass Ultimate Perks, which you should always take advantage of. Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. January member monthly bonus. Jump into the all-new PSO2. Yeah, so this is just your perks that you always get. They always have some stuff there. Don't forget, every single month with Game Pass Ultimate, you should get a special Halo perk as well. So keep your eyes open. I'm sure they'll announce that soon. But they did give away that sweet assault rifle, some challenge swaps, and some XP tokens last time. So I can't wait to see what they do. But I'm looking over at the chat right now. DC Hard Rocker says Windjammers 2 is also getting day and date this month on Game Pass. If that's true, Washy, I can't wait for that because I'll tell you, Windjammers is my jam. I like Windjammers a lot.
We played that. I remember that, but I don't remember what it is.
Windjammers is like the soccer meets tennis, but it's ultimate frisbee, back and forth, but it's almost a fighting game. It's pretty interesting, but it's like air hockey is what I should probably say, because you just throw frisbee back and forth at each other trying to, get past the other one. So I do want to, I'll keep an eye out for that one. If that's true, that would be exciting. But a big one this week over on the opposite side is PlayStation announcing PlayStation VR 2. And PSVR 2 is now coming with a official name. I don't know if you got to see this, but we're going to talk about the headset and the game that they're putting alongside it to really promote that. But I'm coming off of playing a lot of Oculus Quest 2, so I'm interested to see what's up with this. But they do have some specs on this. So on the visual fidelity side, for high fidelity visual experience, PSVR 2 offers 4K HDR, 110-degree field of view, and with an OLED display, which is pretty incredible. 4K, that's pretty exciting right there. Headset-based controller tracking with inside-out tracking. PSVR 2 tracks you and the controller through integrated cameras embedded in the VR headset, which I think I have clearly seen with the Oculus, which I like a lot. New sensory features and eye tracking. It does say there is a cord on this, though, and that's my issue, Washy. Once you play the Oculus without a cord, I can't go back, Washy. And I know that you get the power from the cord. That's how you really elevate that and get the best of the best. But like, once you put a cord on the VR, you lose me. That's my biggest issue. I can't have the cord on that.
Yeah, I mean, I've not owned a VR before. I don't know if it's for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried it. It's interesting. My thing with VR is I get so tied up in one, am I going to get addicted to it?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because if I do, I don't want that to happen. That's something we're trying to avoid, is me sitting here in my VR headset all day. We don't want that, right?
Yeah.
Two, with the PlayStation 1 specifically, what's the compatibility going to be like with other VR titles that already exist? And what's the compatibility going to be like with the metaverse? You know what I mean? I don't even know what the metaverse is. That's where I get scared, is I'm going to get sucked into this metaverse and never come out. You know what I mean? I'm going to get sucked in. And if PSVR 2 is all about games, PlayStation games, then they're saying this New Horizon thing is, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Nobody's going to be able to get one, so it doesn't matter.
You think it will be difficult, like buying a new system type stuff?
Yeah. Well,
it will be interesting to see.
It's an electronic device.
True. And how many are they really pumping out of a VR headset is right. How much belief do they have in it? But of course, they are tying it with the game you brought up, Horizon, Call of the Mountain VR, which I think goes well with the hype that you're going to have around the new Horizon game. What does it look like? How does it play? Is it just a walking simulator, right? Like right now, I've been playing a lot of games with my Oculus, and I've seen walking simulators. I've seen Beat Saber super hot. I've seen games where you move, right? On the flip side, I think that's one of probably the toughest VR thing, is you're standing stationary because you can't just walk around freely around your house or around the world, right? With a VR headset on there. So you are tied to the joysticks on your controller. And I think that's where things get a little wonky and doesn't feel quite right with VR. So when you put such a big name next to it, right, with Horizon, what does it look like? How does it play? Will it do well? Because for me, I played Until the Fall or When We Fall, some sort of zombie game with Michaela, and it's a ton of fun shooting and running around, but the running just feels a little wonky, where you run and like you can look around, but like most of the time you just flick the right stick to like 15-degree turn, and you kind of like turning with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that just takes you completely out of the game. And I want this to be something special. So I wonder what they're going to do with this Horizon game.
Yeah, I mean, the one VR game that I've tried that I think is a great example of what VR is capable of is the Astrobot one. I tried that at JD's house a long time ago. Astrobot Rescue Mission.
Yes.
Not Playroom, the one before that. And that one has you set up where you're controlling Astrobot like you would, with a controller. But the headset is like you are kind of the camera, right? And so if you look over here, there's going to be something, but you might lose sight of where Astrobot is, right? And I think Moss is like that too. You might need to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Moss is like that.
Where Moss, you stand and just look down. They have little puzzle rooms, and you're just kind of like the puppet master above it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's not something for me. We'll see what happens, and if there's something that convinces me that I need it. If I do get one, it's going to be the Quest 2. Just because I think wireless is too big of a thing to kind of not have.
It's a solid price point too. Like I look at this and I look at these specs, there's no way that they're beating the Quest 2 on pricing, right? Like that's like 200 to be, we'll just say 200 to 300 depending on the spec that you go with. Like when I look at this, it's like that's gotta be $300+ no matter what, out the box, right? And then you have the add-ons there.
But there will probably be a new edition of Skyrim for it. So
you get Skyrim in there. You know what they need to do? You talk about the old games they have. My favorite game that they ever put on the PlayStation VR was Firewall 0 Hour, which is this like Rainbow Six type 4v4 shooter. And that's the dream game that I've always wanted on VR. It even came with the gun that you can lean around walls and shoot and stuff. And so like, that's what I'm looking for out of this. And I hope they do find a way to bring some of those older catalog games onto the PSVR 2. I feel like they will, right? Like you have this large catalog, you have a machine that's superior and stronger. It's got to be an easy flip of the switch to be like, yeah, these old games, of course you can play on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, I like 4K in each eye. I think that's crazy. That's a really high resolution.
Yeah, and that's
what's the resolution on the Quest 2?
Not that. I think maybe that's 1080,
really high.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a crazy high resolution. So,
but I think you get
that was my issue with the PSVR 1 is that the PSVR 1 dropped and it was like kind of like the Wii at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it just dropped and it dropped behind the stuff that was already currently available. I think the Oculus Rift at that time was already more powerful, and then they dropped this new thing, and it was like, why would I get this and not an Oculus Rift? Mm-hmm. But this does seem to be kind of them answering that and saying, look at this, 4K in each eye. That's a really big number.
And that's from that cord too. You got to be plugged in for stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I'm excited. I look forward to seeing what PlayStation brings. I think everybody brings some unique stuff, and it's cool to see PlayStation still doing VR, right? I think that's something they easily could have stepped away from and never gone back to, especially with how much competition there already is in the VR market space. Like, they didn't need to step into that arena again. They could have been like, cool, we did that, right? But like, it is cool because it hooks up to your console. And a lot of people have consoles compared to a strong, beefy computer, right? But as we see with Oculus is now selling you somewhere. It's like, hey, out the box, there you go. You know what I mean? You're good to go right now. Here, have fun with it. Up next,
the thing that makes or breaks that's going to be the price at launch.
Yeah.
For me, at least, I know there are diehard people out there who are going to buy it anyway, and there are scalpers. So, finding one's going to be hard, but if it does launch it at $200, I will seriously think about getting one. If it's $300,
I'm going to put $350 is my guess. $350.
I don't know.
I don't want to say $400 because you would gawk at that and be like, that's the price of a whole console. But like, for what you're putting in that machine, you would have to think it's going to be pretty pricey.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, that's a lot of pixels.
We'll
just
see.
A lot.
Up next, Washy, a fun Halo one here, coming in off of Twitter. Deleted Halo Infinite mid-credit cutscene has been uncovered. What are your thoughts about this? Is what the tweet reads, and this is one that a lot of people on the internet are been talking about. Of course, I'll play the tweets, and you and I can talk about it right here, right now, with everybody. But a fun one here with the pilot in chief mid-credit sequence going on here.
Yeah.
Similar to when he wakes up in the middle of the beginning of the game, too, I like.
This is post campaign because he's got a beard.
Correct, yeah.
UNSC tag detected. Designation, friend.
That was Fred, right?
Oh, you said Fred? I thought it was friend.
No, it's Fred.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
So this is complicated because Fred is a complicated character who outranks Chief. But for some reason, Chief just tells him what to do anyway, because I think all Spartan 2s have kind of just accepted their fate and the fact that Chief was going to tell people what to do. I think this was cut because originally I think what was going to happen is Fred was going to be the second player in co-op. Whoever was player 2 was probably just going to be Fred.
Okay.
And I think this was cut because they decided they have to have 4-player co-op, dude. They just have to. It has to happen.
Are you
know what
worried,
I mean?
though, that 4-player co-op in that game would make it too easy? Like,
no.
I feel like
not with the skulls on, dude. When you turn those skulls on, shit just gets insane.
With the skulls on, but like, you got to remember there's a large audience that will not play with the skulls on, that will go in 4 players without the skulls on. And do you not think it'll be too easy? Because I feel like, sure, we give the credit to the AI for really being buffed up and like doing better, but like, 4 jabronis against one named enemy, I feel like that's just gonna be it won't be enough.
I don't know.
That.
I just think it has to be 4.
Okay.
I really do.
I mean, I do agree. I don't think you can take a step back and only do 2 players. I think we've had a number of Halo entries now that are 4 players. I don't think you can go back to 2, but the game just doesn't feel like it would mesh well with 4 jabronis running around at all. Mm-hmm. The world feels too small for 4 jabronis. And I say that, I know it's a big open world game, but like it does feel too small for 4 dudes. And it felt like every encounter I had, sure, I was playing on heroic, not legendary, but like I could easily win those fights even on heroic if you put all 4 of us in some of those smaller room encounters with a named boss. Like, there's no way.
Then they just have to scale it like Borderlands has been scaling it since fucking 2009 or whatever. You know what I mean? Figure it out. Figure this shit out.
Figure it out. I mean,
come on, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
This game should have launched with co-op. It should have launched with co-op that scaled. It's getting to a point where it's just kind of like unforgivable at this point. You know what I mean?
So what do you expect?
It's a glaring omission. I expect 4-player co-op. That's why I think this was cut.
Because it says Fred, and you're like, oh, snap, we need more people than just Fred.
Yeah, this was going to be something that launched with Season 2, where they were going to introduce co-op or whatever, and you were going to turn the game on, and it was going to be like, oh, shit, Fred's here. Now 2 of you can run around the island, but then Big Joe Staten, and this is just all me making shit up. Making shit up, right? Big Joe was like, no, we're going to do 4. Like, we're going to fucking do 4, and we're going to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thanks to Fox of the Future. Put a poll up. Let's hear from the chat what they think 2 or 4.
Yeah, I think they've got to do 4, and I think they've got to scale it. I just think that's how it has to be.
That's going to be, in my opinion, their biggest hurdle to overcome is how do you put 4 jabronis in this world, make it feel good, and not make it feel super easy. And I know you bring up the skulls, but in all honesty, when we look at the pie chart, the people that are going to jump into this without any skulls on, people that don't even comprehend the skulls and what they can do, are they going to have too easy of a time where the AI bot is going to be stuck in between 4 dudes with sniper rifles just circling them? My fear is we're going to get videos of that.
Not if they scale it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's scale it with the number of enemies and how smart the enemies are.
I look forward to it.
We'll just have to see.
If it's 4 people, what do you think? Is this a squad of people? Is this our multiplayer avatars coming in? What do you anticipate the other people being besides Chief? Is it just going to be Chief replicants and we're not going to address that? Or will it be some sort of squad?
No, I think they make probably a new version of this cutscene. Okay. Or they just fucking use this cutscene and Fred does show up. And he's like, oh, and I brought my homies with me, and there's just 2 other random Spartans.
Yeah.
Just like in Halo 3, where one person was Chief, one person was RB, and then the other 2 guys were RB's just homies.
Oh, really? Right? That's what I'm trying to picture in my head. It's been so long. I thought we were just all Chief clones. I don't remember what those other people were.
Yeah, in Halo 3, it was Chief, RB, and just 2 elites.
Is this a good way, do you think, maybe to blend the multiplayer story that they've been building with Chief's story, where we do have the head of the Spartans team program show up, and it's her and 2 other Spartan leaders, or maybe it's her and, hey, guess what? Now you're your multiplayer Spartan. Do you think that could happen? Because they are building that story, and clearly, like, she is going on when Chief is around, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that could work.
Okay.
I mean, we'll just have to see what they do. But either way, if it's not 4 players, that's going to be a letdown, a bummer. You know, for me this year, like Halo, it's so weird to talk about, but like Halo's still one of those things, even though it's out, that I'm looking forward to the most because of Forge mode and campaign co-op. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though I've already beat the campaign, even though I'm already having fun in multiplayer, like I'm still really, really hyped up to see what happens with co-op and what happens with Forge mode. It's like that and Starfield are the two things that Xbox has that like matter to me in 2022, I guess.
No Redfall?
That's not coming out in 2022. No way.
You don't think they'll hit that? Really?
No shot. No shot.
Okay. See, I mean, when we'll talk about that in another episode. Maybe we'll talk about that next week of like what we're looking forward to. Because when you look at Halo's Xbox's master plan and the release schedule, right, and what they want to do, I think Redfall is a key piece of this situation, or else we're gonna have a pretty quiet lead up to Starfall.
Yeah,
I think it's a pretty big, vital piece here.
That was one of my concerns with Xbox in 2022. Is like 2021 was just so crazy, you know.
It was a quiet start, a strong finish.
Yeah,
and now
we'll have to see what they do.
Okay.
With 2022, because Forge is huge. Like Forge is just massive. That's such a massive thing to add to a video game, you know. And hopefully by that point, they've actually added a couple more maps and they've got some of the bugs and weird kinks kind of worked out of the game. But adding Forge and adding that community creation sort of hub where anybody can go download beer pong and play it.
I love that. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I love Wipeout. Yeah,
That's a huge thing to add to a game. And from what I've read about Forge and Halo Infinite is that the PC version's even crazier and more involved. So people are going to be we're going to see some insane maps, I think. Remakes, new stuff. We'll just, it's going to be exciting.
Okay, we're keeping it moving. We got a little fun one for you because it's not just video games with you and I. We want to talk about everything. Let's talk about Morbius. Morbius has been delayed to April 1st. It feels like an April Fool's joke, too. I don't know why we put it on April 1st, but it feels like an April Fool's joke to have it on this. Great. But Morbius has been pushed from January 28th, which, I mean, geez, that's right around the corner. We would have watched this and gotten it out of the way already. But now to April. What are your thoughts on Morbius?
When was this movie supposed to come out originally? That's my question.
That's a great question.
What's the original release date for Morbius?
That's a great question.
It's been a long time, man.
Originally set July 31st, 2020.
Oh.
So July to January, that's a 6-month gap.
We're looking at April, like a 2-year, like almost a 2-year delay, bro. Just drop it. Marvel's been dropping their movies.
Yeah, like Jesus, that's July 31st. Oh wow, yeah,
that's fucking insane, dude. Woo. Nobody gives a shit about this movie, dude. I mean, come on, man.
You don't like Jared Leto?
Trailer? You need a doctor. I am a doctor. It's just like, dude, get out of here, dude. Get out of here. Nobody cares.
Can you reach too far into the bag?
Fucking awful.
Are we reaching too far into the bag with some of these heroes? Is that the issue right now? We're reaching too far into the bag?
Oh, it's just awful, dude. It's awful. It looks awful. Every movie I've been to this year, they play this damn trailer before. And it's like, just release this so I don't have to see it anymore. I don't want to see this trailer anymore.
This is the one you need to put on. Just put it on the streaming service. Just get it out, get it away from you.
If there ever was one, you know that they paid Jared Leto a bag to do this movie too, and that's why they have to keep delaying it.
Yeah. My only saving grace is we might see Blade, and I just want to see Blade. I'm
fucking shot, dude.
Pumped up to see Blade. I just hope to God
Sony doesn't
just
own Blade.
I mean, maybe we just slice him in at the post credit. You know, Blade shows up really quick. You know, that's all I want. I want to see Blade. I'm ready for Blade is what I guess I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Just give me Blade. Give me the saving grace for this movie. Exactly. The saving grace would be him to show up in one scene and all of us be like, oh my God, that'd be the saving grace of this movie. That's all I want.
No, there's just no shot, dude.
Make it worth my time for the 2 hours I'm going to give to this movie.
Marvel's going to hold on to that. Like, Marvel doesn't want to. The only reason fucking Tom Hart. Spoilers, okay? The only reason that like any of this is a conversation is because Sony has somehow bludgeoned their way into the MCU with this Spider-Man nonsense that doesn't make any sense at all. And now Marvel's gonna be like, fuck you, we're holding Blade, dude. There's no way MCU or Disney's gonna let them fucking have one of their characters.
After Venom 2, all I'm saying is anything is possible, it feels like. The one jabroni, he was there. And it's like, why can't we put Blade at the end of this to make it worthwhile? Like, Sony's got to look at them and be like, yo,
Blade was
really
at the end of
up.
Eternals.
He was, yes, exactly. So give me another breadcrumb. Give me another breadcrumb. That's all I'm getting at. Give me another breadcrumb.
I just don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I hate that this movie exists. I hate it. I just hate it. I've hated it since they announced it, dude. Why the fuck are we talking about Morbius?
July 31st, 2020 to now April 1st, 2022. Let that
almost
sink
2
in,
years.
like you said. That is a long time, bro. That's crazy. What an insane thing right there. Well,
that's just so long. It's so long,
It's
dude.
too much. So I thought that would be a fun one. We could just mix in here. Let's finish it up with a cool one, which is James Bond, Goldeneye 007. Expanse achievements have appeared online, and we're back on this cycle again. We've already been here once, but now it seems like True Achievements might have something for real. Maybe they got something for real. What do you think? Do you think this is really going down?
I mean, yeah.
You think
Probably.
so? Really?
Yeah. Because people just can't let go of Goldeneye, dude.
No, we cannot.
It's not a good video game.
No, if you have played it in recent years, it does not hold up well at all. It's right.
No, it doesn't. It's not a very good video game.
We live in this world where Papa Phil has given us so much, along with Jason
Phil
Ronald and the team.
fucking loves GoldenEye. Know he does.
Papa Phil and the team have given us so much of like, hey, you know those really special games that you hold near and dear to your heart that don't, honest to God, hold up in 2022 at all? We're going to bring those back for you, and we're going to make sure you have them. And people are like, you know what game I really love, Papa Phil? GoldenEye. And he's like, I guess I can figure it out.
I fucking love GoldenEye. And so he's dropping it, dude.
Yeah.
He's gonna drop it on us, dude. And it's gonna be as shitty as the remaster they did for 360 those years ago. They've already done this.
Did they really do that in 360? That was for real, for real?
Yeah.
Oh.
They did a remake or a remaster, whatever you want to call it, for GoldenEye already. That's been done. And it was not received well because it's not a good game. It's not a good video game.
You know, I'm always one who I talk about
we'll
GoldenEye.
have to see.
I talk about GoldenEye and I was one of those kids that was part of that, right? That was my generation, your generation, Washy, of we played this all the time. And I loved GoldenEye, but I actually preferred Perfect Dark more. You know what I preferred more than GoldenEye? Was the next game that came out in the James Bond series that I always bring up, which was the blue cartridge. I think it was like Tomorrow's Never Dies or The World Isn't Not Enough or something like that. That one was the superior James Bond to GoldenEye, right? And so, yeah, I just see this and I'm like, I don't know about, Rare Replay is a perfect example. How many times have you gone back to Conker's Bad Fur Day or Perfect Dark in the past year to 5 years? Not many times. You're going to play this once and never go back.
I'd want to see a list of James Bond video games. Because there is GoldenEye.
Yep. Bring it up.
Man. Then...
Maybe Tomorrow Never Dies. I forget what the... Nightfire. Maybe it's Nightfire.
What year did GoldenEye come out?
I don't remember. That was way too long ago.
1997. Ooh. And then Tomorrow Never Dies was the next one.
Yep, that's the one I remember. That one was great.
And then The World Is Not Enough was after that. I liked From Russia with Love on the GameCube.
Okay.
That was the one that I played for some reason. Okay. And it probably wasn't a very good video game. I don't think it was. But I mean, none of these games are. And then, yes, they released GoldenEye. It's called GoldenEye Reloaded.
Okay.
For the PlayStation 3 and the 360. And it sucked. It was awful.
It does at least keep the hype for James Bond. After Daniel Craig, we said goodbye. Great movie. Very good movie. I really enjoyed the ending of that one. But then it could just builds the hype for what IO Interactive could build and will build for James Bond in their game. I know it's completely different, but keep the James Bond hype rolling, I guess, is going on in my mind. Because I'm pumped up for what IO is going to create with James Bond.
We'll have to see. I mean, the last level of Hitman 3 gets me excited for what they can do with James Bond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if there's anybody that can build a level, it's IO Interactive. That's what Hitman is.
Yeah,
it's just level design. In your fucking face,
dude,
in your eyeballs. Take it.
Think of the movies that you've seen with James Bond, those set pieces where he walks up to a bar.
It's going to be unbelievable.
He's at a big gala, big party, and like
the first level of Hitman 3.
Exactly, Washy. Think of
incredible.
that. But you're James Bond
but
now.
The last
level
of Hitman 3 is very action heavy, which you have to do with James Bond. You have to have some action, right?
That's got to be that blend.
Yeah, they're going to knock that out of the park. That's exciting to think about. I hope we see more of that this year. You think we'll see any of that this year? Anything?
Or Hitman?
Yeah, no. Whatever IO's cooking up with James Bond.
Well, you got James Bond and Project Dragon in the works, right? I could see us getting a CGI trailer of James Bond, but I don't think we're going to get gameplay this calendar year of James Bond. I think we have some time there. I would be more inclined of, do you think we'll see any more Hitman? Or is like Hitman now put to rest?
I don't know.
We done with updates on Hitman?
It's like that's such a perfect game.
And you loved it. You love that one, you know?
Yeah, I really do. I do love it. And all they can do now, is add some levels to Hitman 3. Mm-hmm. You can't change the formula because Hitman 1 was perfect. And then 2 was perfect and 3 was perfect. So all you can do at this point is just add levels. And if anybody can do it, they can. But it takes them a long time to build those levels. It takes them a long time. So,
I'm excited. Either way, I can't wait for what they're cooking up. I won't be sad if we don't see it this year, but just the idea and the knowledge that they are doing it, I look forward to it. And I also look forward to like Project Dragon, what that is, right? Jez has talked about it before, Jez Corden from Windows Central Gaming alongside the Xbox 2 podcast. And I believe that's a multiplayer game. So that will be interesting to see what they build in a multiplayer universe, I believe is what's happening there. So I do look forward to seeing IO kind of flex two different muscles here, essentially, is what we'll see out of this team.
Yeah, as long as they don't get away from what they're good at. And I think James Bond is them staying with what they're good at.
Level. Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? Zone. It's like, let's stay in the pocket,
I like staying in the pocket.
Do a killer James Bond game that's essentially just Hitman with hair and no barcode on the back of his head. And then, well, whatever this Project Dragon thing is, yeah. But for the 007 remake part 3, we'll just have to see. I have no idea. I don't care. I don't want whatever.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it's real or not. It will be interesting. And if they do, I'm sure we will play it for a night and go, man, this hasn't aged well. Let's never play this again. You know what I mean? You'll have to play like slappers only is probably how this will have to play
slappers
out,
and then turn on big heads.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. But of course, this will wrap it up. That's all the news that I brought for you and I to talk about this week. I just wanted to have a fun little catch up with you, Washy. Maybe once a week we could do this. We could sit down, talk about what we've been playing, what we've been watching, catch up with all of our friends in the chat, and just see what's the news of the week. Talk about it, hang out with everybody. Of course, if you're in the chat right now, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching me and Washy. Just kind of have a fun little conversation. What's been going on in our world? I'll open it up one final time. If you have any questions, if you have any cool news that you want us to talk about before we go, now is your opportunity. But a big thanks to Washburn for giving me his Wednesday night. I know he is a very busy dude, but there's nobody I'd rather sit next to, Washy, and just hang out and kick it with than you. You know what I mean? I really enjoy that. And that's what I wanted to do with this, was just give me a chance to kind of talk about some of these news stories before I go on the big stage with XCast, but also to catch up with you because I like your thought process and your critical eye to a number of things. And so I thought it was pretty nice that we could sit down and do this.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. One quick question coming in from Fluffhead686. When do you think we'll get new maps in Halo, Washy? And this is something, I've been complaining about a lot. I can't do it, Washy. I can't stand the map / game modes. I need something
about
new.
It. I'm gonna say mid-February.
Mid-February, we get new maps.
I think we hear something about new maps by mid-February.
February's the second month. May is 5th. That's the season 2. February, that's almost 3 months you got to wait, though. Essentially, it's pretty much 2, but that's like 3 months you would have to wait then. That might be kind of long there if it comes out.
They've just got too many legacy maps that they're not using.
Yeah, that's what Drago says.
They can't. You just can't.
Maps.
You can't leave those all over at MCC. Because from what I understand, they stopped working on MCC, right? The last season update was the last.
Correct.
The
MCC
last one
is done. Yep.
So, I mean, I've always thought, they're gonna bring some kind of legacy map pack in before season 2, with maybe one map from each game, and they'll have to really retool the ones pre Halo 4 when there was no sprint. Because when you add sprint to a game, that totally changes the map design, right?
Do you think they'll do something where it's like, hey, we brought you Lockout, but like there is bigger. no, not even bigger. What if it's just like there's sprint, but there's no equipment like grapple hook?
No.
Because if there's grapple hook on Lockout, we're zipping around the map like Spider-Man. It doesn't work.
Yeah, but it's limited and it has a ton of cooldown. And they might not even put it on there. I mean, they could just put drop wall on there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not every map has grapple in Infinite.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. They do a good job with that.
I think they bring in one map from each game. Okay? We should make a tier list sometime.
Maybe we can do it next episode. We'll make a tier list.
Yeah. We got
to talk about game of the year. We got to talk about the games we're excited for coming up. We got to talk about, of course, what's been happening over the week, and then we can do tier lists. We can find a way to slide that in there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if we keep doing this, if you had fun, if the chat had fun, we'll be back again to do this. We can do a tier list.
Yeah, I think 5 arena maps and 2 big team maps have to get added before May. Have to.
Agreed. Have to. Washy.
Have to.
We always talk about this, the player base, talk about the hype cycle. Like, you gotta move.
The attention span is so short, dude. They've been right. I mean, it's just how it is. I'm guilty of this too. I'm still playing Halo. I'm still having fun with it enough. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to feel that way in mid-February if I'm doing the same thing and I haven't heard about any roadmaps or updates or things of that nature. Yeah. I'm going to be looking at it and saying, okay, well, I'll see you in May. When Forbidden West drops and just dominates my life for 2 or 3 weeks.
Elden Ring in February, bro. I'm about to lose my mind in Elden Ring. I can't wait, bro. I can't wait.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's been a fun little episode of Catching Up with Mike and Washburn. It is Wednesday. You're halfway through the work week. You're halfway through the school week. And if you tuned in live, hanging out with us both, thank you all so much for just kicking it and having some fun with us. Thought we'd come on and do this. It's a great opportunity to talk with Washburn, talk with all of you, and just kick it for a little bit. We play so many games. Sometimes it's nice to just kick back and relax. And there's no better place to do it than with all of you in the chat. And that's what I really wanted. So thanks to my dude Washburn for joining me. Thank you to everybody out there watching. We'll be back tomorrow to play Metal Gear Solid and talk about our favorite games of the year. So be here and we'll have some fun. You guys are all incredible. Also, want to give a big shout out before I end the recording, before I end the stream, Washburn. Let's give a big shout out right now to Kakos08, aka Kakos. That's what I call her. Kakos, for designing all of the new line of the Kind of Funny merch right now. Of course, I work for Kind of Funny. You can go on over to roosterteeth.com/store. Go check out the new merch right now. The team's initiative is to bring a lot of merch to you this year. So you're going to get a lot of cool lines designed by some incredible Kind of Funny best friends. So please go check out the new line. Go grab something to start off the new year. Because, Washy, you and I both know, okay, the Kind of Funny store has been lacking over the past couple of months, past couple of years. It's time to get something fresh. It's time to wear something fresh, something new, or else you're going to be looking like Washburn when he wears the SnowBikeMike gear and it's half melted off.
So faded, dude.
Oh, please, go check that out. Go have some fun. And that will wrap up a week of hanging out with me and Washburn. We'll see you all back here another time. Peace out, everybody. See ya.